What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We're back at it again with another video. Today we're looking at yet another PlayStation Portal review. We actually got the PlayStation Portal Portal in yesterday, last night, or in the evening, whenever. I got it from the lobby last night. So we got it here. We're going to be doing our unboxing and review shortly. But I wanted to take another look at what the critics think. We did a CNET review. I'll link it to this one, and we're going to check out this one. And be on the lookout for mine. So, without further ado, let's get to the video. Yeah, I don't know if that's they're gonna hit me with the copyright on that. 11:18 Times Square, 8 p.m. Chromebook Plus. What?
I did not think for a second I was going to be impressed by the PlayStation Portal. Sony's small screen remote play solution for the PS5. With remote play already working great on tablets and phones, and controller solutions like the Backbone designed specifically for playing console games remotely, the Portal seems like a solution to a problem no one had. Why spend $200 on a single-purpose device when there are much cheaper solutions already available? And yet, after spending time with the PlayStation Portal, I gotta say, this thing rules. That's not to say I wouldn't change.
Yeah, to answer his question, I would say for optimization purposes. Like, it's a first-party device made by Sony, so it's going to work perfectly. It's going to be perfectly optimized for a Sony device. I had somebody comment on my CNET review reaction to this, and they say, yeah, my Backbone, I couldn't quite get it to work, blase, but that's not going to happen on the Portal.
Change anything about it. In fact, it has some missing features that make me scratch my head, but initial skepticism has been replaced by enthusiasm.
Music is vibey. Okay.
First off, when it comes to the just use your phone argument against the Portal, that disintegrates once you see the screen. Now, it's not OLED, which is a bummer, but it's an extremely high quality 8-inch LCD screen. That is much bigger than my iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it really looks fantastic. Colors are extremely vivid and absolutely pop. There's no smearing or ghosting whatsoever, and when things are in motion, they look exactly like you'd expect them to look. The viewing angle, too, is quite nice. You can freely tilt it in whatever way is most comfortable while you're using it without losing color or detail. Everything just looks crisp and alive on the screen, and I really do prefer it over using remote play on my phone. On the opposite,
I really think they goofed, Sony, y'all kind of goofed with not providing either a little stand for it or like a little case for it. Like, where do you put this thing when you are not using it? Now, I have the Edge, the DualSense Edge, so it comes with its own case. If you buy the PS5, there's an accessory you could put it on a charging dock, so when you're not using it, you can just sit it on the charging dock and unplug it so it doesn't uncharge. What options do we have for this thing? Where am I going to put this thing when I'm not using it? That's my question.
Extreme, if you use remote play on a full-size tablet, yes, you get a bigger screen. That might be the best way to strike the perfect balance between portability and screen real estate, but you still have to supply a controller, which, given the fact that you clearly own a PS5, probably not that big of a deal. However, the advantage of the Portal over a tablet is you get the good-sized screen with a controller built right into an all-in-one solution, so you can hold the Portal and play your games in any position you like. Because it's effectively a DualSense with the middle stretched and turned into a screen, the Portal is instantly familiar to feel and use. It even has the DualSense features like vibration and resistive triggers. The only feature it's missing is the touchpad, but a quick tap of the screen brings up a virtual replacement. But the functionality of every part of the traditional DualSense controller is right there, literally at your fingertips. The Portal comes in at roughly 1.17 pounds. For comparison, my iPhone 13 Pro Max with backbone weighs in at just under 1 pound.
Hold on.
I was
My
actually
headphones cut off. Come on. I have to edit this out.
surprised at that result when I popped it on the scale. I seriously thought it was less than that because it feels very light and comfortable without coming off as cheap, and I never got tired of holding it. I used it sitting on my couch, laying in bed, even at the local coffee shop, and I never felt like I needed to put it down and take a break. Since it is so much lighter than I was anticipating.
When you bought it with you, what was you carrying it in? Did you bring a bag with you? Did you find a case that just so happened to be big enough to fit this thing? Where did you put it when you took it out with you to the coffee shop? That's my question.
And the screen is really bright. I wasn't expecting much from the battery life. If the notoriously short-lived DualSense is anything to go by, it was never going to be amazing. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, Astro's Playroom, and Spider-Man 2, swapping between them over the course of my battery test without ever shutting down the portal, and I got 4.5 hours of use with the brightness turned to 100% and the volume at around 50%.
That's decent.
The Nintendo Switch OLED gets roughly the same battery life under ideal conditions, and
yeah, that's what I was saying. The Switch kind of does the same thing. Like the Switch and the Steam Deck. Like the Steam Deck is a little more, ROG Ally is a little more because they have a bigger, stronger battery. But that's impressive for like a remote play, just a remote play device.
the Portal easily beats the Steam Deck, which often struggles to hit 2 hours. However, both of those devices are doing much heavier lifting than the Portal, which isn't doing any major graphical processing. Personally, I feel like that's plenty of time before having to plug it into the USB-C port for power. No doubt that number could be greatly increased by turning the brightness down and the controller features like vibration and trigger reactions off.
Yeah, see, like I said, I get more out of it, out the Steam, because I don't really put my shit on super duper max settings, so I can get more than 2 hours. I can get 4 or 5 hours. I've sat and played my Steam Deck and my ROG Ally for definitely at least 4 to 5 hours before, because I don't really max out my settings. I'm not a graphics whore like that. Like, I love great graphics, but I'm not really a graphics whore like that. Or like, I'm not a performance junkie.
As has been pointed out many times, the PlayStation Portal shortens to PSP, which is an initialism shared by Sony's first dedicated handheld gaming device that came out way back in 2005. Old. But the Portal is definitely not a shot across Nintendo's bow, because the Portal only plays games via remote play, so it's not like you can play it on the go. There's no version with a cellular connection, or without also owning a PlayStation 5. There is literally nothing else it can do. That seems like a bit of a bummer given the $200 price tag.
However, this thing right here, this is going to be the beginning of a new era for the Sony handheld. This was a test product. This was a feeler. They wasn't going to just throw out a new PSP. They giving us this to see how well this sells, just to see what the market is for a new PSP, because these corporations go off numbers. They don't listen. They don't do what we do. They don't go down into the trenches and listen to shit like this or CNET or nothing like that. They look at the pure numbers. So if this sells, if we buy this and we support this and we give suggestions on how to improve this, I believe we'll get another PSP before 2030. I'm saying it now. Mark my words. It'll at the very least get announced before then. It's 2023, November 2023. Mark my words. We will, if this sells well and we support this and we give good feedback on this so they can improve it, we will get a PSP by 2030. I think the next PlayStation, they said it's going to come out. I did a video on it. They said it's going to be out probably by like 2027. Give it to 2030. Give it to 2030. We're going to get a new PSP if we support this. Mark my word.
I'd have liked to at least be able to watch Netflix or YouTube on the Portal, but all media functions are disabled on Sony Remote Play. The PlayStation Portal will only play games and let you navigate PS5's menus, so without a PS5 at the ready, the Portal is a paperweight. It's also completely bonkers that this thing doesn't have Bluetooth. If you want to listen to your games without everybody in the room hearing them along with you, you're going to need either a wired headset, which sucks, it's 2023, or you'll need one of Sony's proprietary PlayStation Link compatible headsets,
I don't like
or
that.
earbuds, which also sucks.
That PlayStation Link shit is kind of scummy because it's the same technology as Bluetooth, but it's only for proprietary for Sony products. Like, they want you to spend another $200 next month. You just dropped $200 this month or whenever you pay for it. Well, this month, yeah, and they want you to drop another $200 next month when this drops. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna get them anyway because because I'm a content creator and I happen to have the expendable income to do so. So I don't know, kind of scummy, but they know we was gonna go along with it anyway. So, fuck it.
Add to the suckiness the fact that those earbuds and headset aren't even out yet. Hey, but don't worry. The earbuds come out December 6th. Oh, wait, but do worry because they cost $200 on their own. Wait, actually, the next Pulse headset is $149, so that's a little bit of a savings. But, oh, no, they don't come out until the end of February 2024.
End of February.
What the hell, Sony? At least this problem has an expiration date, unless you don't intend to buy the Sony headphones. But it's going to be frustrating for early adopters. I really cannot understand why Sony didn't include Bluetooth. If it's a cost-saving measure, it's a bizarre one, given there's still some kind of chip in there.
They didn't put the Bluetooth because they put the 3.5mm headphone jack. I know having wired headphones is not the cool thing, but you got people like me who really don't give a fuck. Like, I'll use wireless whenever I can, but if I have wired headphones, I ain't tripping. These headphones I got on my head, these Astro 830s, come with I bought them over the Astro 850s because they came with a wired solution, just in case. I like utility. I like utility when I buy my products, which is ironic considering this PlayStation Portal has no utility. But like I said, it's going to lead to a product being made with a lot of utility, which would be the next version of the PSP.
Broadcasting Sony's sound tech, so I don't think that's the case. Plus, Bluetooth is super cheap and it's in everything. My shoe has Bluetooth. It's made all the more frustrating by the fact that the single worst part of the Portal is its built-in speakers. They sound flaccid and underpowered with little in the way of audio range. I do appreciate they are stereo speakers, and in games that use stereo effects, it is actually noticeable. But otherwise, the sound is really underwhelming, and at full volume, it sounds blown out. My phone's speaker sounds better, and hey, I can pair my phone to my Bluetooth headset. Setting up the Portal is extremely easy. You just need to make sure your PS5 is set up for remote play first, then you power on the Portal, connect to Wi-Fi, wait for it to download the update and restart, then wait for it to apply the update and restart again, and then follow the prompts to pair it to your PlayStation 5. Okay, yes, that sounds like a hassle now that I say it all out loud, but it's not like you can mess it up, and it's a process you only need to do once. The other thing you need to do is make sure your PlayStation 5 is in rest mode and not completely powered down, or else it won't turn on and connect when you pick up your Portal. The first time I connected, it took a few moments to find my PlayStation 5, but when it did work, it worked flawlessly. It's so cool to be able to use my PS5 in what is otherwise a completely normal way, but on a bright, beautiful, portable screen.
Right.
The first game I played was, of course,
with the first-party controller. Like, I think the most attractive thing about this, other than the big screen, is the fact that it's a DualSense controller. It's a DualSense controller, like, with a screen in the middle. That's fucking fire. Just like the design is fire. I thought it looked a little goofy at first, but now that I'm looking at it more, I think it looked kind of fire.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2. And my initial worry was, some of the text would probably be too small to read, but the 8-inch screen proved to be just big enough to see everything, even the smaller text. I hadn't actually gotten around to playing Spider-Man 2 yet, and it turned out to be an awesome showcase for the Portal. The smaller screen obviously minimizes the scale of the earliest boss battle, but for being able to play while lying down on my couch, I'll take that trade. I also played NHL 23 and found it incredibly fun on the small screen as well. Didn't have any issues with text or menus, although a little hard to see some of the action around the net on that 8-inch screen. If you've used Remote Play before, you know the single biggest bottleneck in performance is the quality of your Wi-Fi signal. I have a decent Wi-Fi router, yes, it's the one provided by my ISP, okay? And never once did the signal drop out while using the Portal in my living room. However, in both Spider-Man and NHL, there was a noticeable drop in frame rate in moments where the action got really fast, although it was very brief. Occasionally, I'd spot the resolution drop down for a tick or two, but again, that was only during the fastest and most heated parts of the games. The only time the stream really struggled was when I was downloading a game. I wanted to test the Portal's battery life against Astro's Playroom's awesome DualSense controller features and went to re-add it to my library.
Okay.
Since my PS5 is connected wirelessly, the added bandwidth of a game download brought Remote Play to its knees, even losing connection once or twice before picking it back up again.
See, but me, I'm the type of person I'm already considering for that. I would not, knowing that my Portal is borrowing off the same network as my PlayStation, I would never download a game from the Remote Play. I would make sure I have everything that I want to play already downloaded, already updated, and then I would connect remotely so that I could just play smoothly. That's to be expected when you're, when you're talking about that. When you're trying to download a game while you're connected Remote Play, it's gonna struggle. It's gonna take you like hours to download that shit.
Once the download was completed, everything returned to normal. Moving away from the router to my bedroom, where I have less than stellar Wi-Fi coverage, the problem got pretty bad. It was no fault of the Portal, it was wholly because I haven't set up enough access points to give it a good enough signal. At this point, I had switched to playing Final Fantasy VII Remake exclusively, and there were occasions when the streaming buffer was working so hard, the resolution drop made text completely unreadable. The moral of the story is that if you're planning on getting a PlayStation Portal, you should make sure your household Wi-Fi coverage is in top form anywhere.
Yeah, I got that gigabit. I got that optimum
Sony also
gigabit.
recommends you have a 15 megabits per second or greater connection for best results, but the minimum requirement is 5 megabits per second. After establishing the Portal works great in most of my house, I packed it up and took it to Dunkin' Donuts, which as a New Englander, I am required by law to visit at least once per month. I'd hoped to test its performance on public Wi-Fi, but this was a total bust. Dunkin', like many chains, airports, libraries, hotels, and other locations offering guest Wi-Fi, requires you to visit a website and acknowledge its terms of service before allowing you onto their network. And the Portal has no web browser to allow such an interaction.
They should have released it.
That is a huge bummer because
they could have tucked away. They could have definitely tucked away a web browser in there. Just it made it specific to when you can try to connect to an access point. They could have did that, but I guess they didn't want. I guess that was a security concern because if you get them access to it. If you don't give them access to it, the hackers will find a way in. If you give them that little access point, they'll find an exploit to crack in, to get in there, to try to hack the device, even though they're going to hack it anyway. But I think that lends itself to Sony making this product just not for outside. Like, this product is not made for you to be outside. This product is made for you to play in the house. Like, if you're you laying in bed, your PlayStation 5 is not in your bedroom, it's in the living room or it's in a different room, you can still play. Or if you're like you're on the toilet or whatever, or if you're at your desk, you're at your office working, and you want to whip out your PS5, like say if you're a work from home type of person, such as myself, because that's my use case. I just named all my use cases. My PS5 is out here in the living room. I can't always play my PS5 unless I'm out here in the living room. But now I can go lay down in the bed, sit on my recliner and just chill, or when I'm working from home, and which is my work setup is also in my bedroom, I can just chill and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
Pretty much any place you'd want to use it outside your house is going to require that initial login page. This seems like something that could be handled in a future update, but for now, you are out of luck.
They will.
However, one of the locally owned coffee shops in my town has free Wi-Fi with no such requirements, so I took the portal in for a cup of coffee to see if it worked as advertised. Getting on their Wi-Fi was easy, but connecting to my console back home took long enough that I was worried it wasn't going to work. But once it did, it worked incredibly well. In fact, it worked almost as well as it does at my house when both devices are on the same network. This was the turning point for me, where I went from, well, this is kind of neat, to this is actually rad. There I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake from the PS5 in my house in a cafe across town, and it was nearly indistinguishable from the experience at home. Again, that's something that can certainly be done on your phone or tablet, and those are also able to get past that login screen, but none of them feel as good to hold and play as the Portal. The PlayStation,
And you gotta know that Nintendo and Microsoft is looking at this too. They're looking at this Portal like, should we drop a remote only device or should we do a handheld? Because I know Xbox for years has been dabbling on and off with the idea of a portable console. That's why we've gotten products like the Logitech G and various like licensed products that promote mobile play with the Xbox. So they're fully in on it. So you know they're gonna be looking at this like, damn, do we need to step our game up and make one, or do we let Sony have this one?
PlayStation Portal is the most surprising device I've ever come away from.
And then Nintendo is like, our Switch is still selling, so we don't need to come out with the Switch 2 yet. But this is intriguing. Let's see. Because then you got the partnership with Microsoft, like the extended, relationship with Microsoft and Nintendo, because Microsoft is in Nintendo's ear trying to tell them, look, the future for your platform is, the future for your success is off of the platform that you're currently using. So come fuck with us type shit. And that's a quote. They not the come fuck with us type shit part, but like the part where they say the future of your success lies off of your platform. I think that's a direct quote. I forget what the article was, but I did it in one of my other videos. So yeah, this is going to be a big test period for the industry as far as handhelds go, even though it's just a remote play system. This is the first time, other than the Switch, in a while that we've gotten a first party handheld. Like the Logitech G is made by Logitech and they just partner with Microsoft. The Asus RG Ally is with Asus and they just partner with Xbox. So this is like the latest first party handheld device, even though it just only does remote. But everybody gonna be looking at this. People are gonna be looking at this for sure. I'm pissed that they came up with the OLED Steam Deck. That ain't right. I bought my joint day one, and now I have an inferior screen off top. Like, come on now, why y'all do that to us? But yeah, this is gonna be a dope device. IMO. I can't wait to crack it open again. We got it right here. We got that bad boy right here. So the next video you see from this channel is gonna be my review, not nobody else's review. It's gonna be mine. So yeah. So I seen this video. He's like, this is clickbait. This is clickbait. He likes to take stuff apart and stuff. But yeah. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Are y'all invested in this? Do y'all like? Are y'all gonna be getting the PlayStation Portal? Do you see a use case for it? Are you gonna hold out for a new PSP? Let me know. So you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.